I stumbled upon a moment that was never meant to be seen, as I entered my best friend's home, and found myself in the midst of an unexpected scene involving their father. It was a sight that would linger in my memory, forever altering the fabric of our friendship. The door creaked open, revealing him, shirtless, standing there, his gaze fixed on me. Jenna grinned, her tone playful and full of mischief. She was captivated by the sight before her. In an instant, my heart raced, and I felt my breath hitch in my throat. In an instant, before I could gather my thoughts, she propelled me ahead. I teetered on the edge of my footing, stepping into the room, just as the door whispered closed behind me. In the heavy stillness, a suffocating weight envelopes, leaving no escape in sight. Then, his voice, low and amused, remained utterly unshaken. Did it take you an eternity to arrive? Before we embark on this journey, take a moment to show your appreciation for this video and consider subscribing. It moves swiftly, comes at no cost, and offers assistance beyond your imagination. Furthermore, you will be sure to catch the next tale. Thank you for joining me on this journey. And so, we embark on this journey. Jenna reclined on the couch, swirling the final remnants of wine in her glass, and released a contented sigh. All right, then, Adam. Indeed, that fellow possesses a keen understanding of his craft. I grinned, a spark of curiosity igniting within me. Oh dear, what has transpired? She cast me a glance filled with understanding. Oh, the way he kissed me, you wouldn't believe it. It feels as though my mind has simply gone blank. His hands danced across my skin, exuding a confidence that suggested he was intimately familiar with every single gesture that would send me into a whirlwind of desire. I chuckled, shaking my head in disbelief. Ah, it seems we've entered the realm of boasting, haven't we? With a playful grin, she leaned in just a bit closer. Indeed, I must caution you. The moment his fingers brushed against my neck. The final curtain falls. I lost the rhythm of my breath. I arched an eyebrow, tilting my head in curiosity. So, you're telling me he has left you unable to see anyone else in the same light? Oh, absolutely, she exclaimed, letting out a theatrical sigh as she placed her glass down with a flourish. Picture this, a guy steps in, seizing the moment with confidence and authority. It's quite the sight, isn't it? Ah, it stirs something within me. I waved my hand in front of my face, a smile spreading across my lips. Very well, very well. This makes me feel like I need a cold shower just from hearing it. With a burst of laughter, Jenna playfully kicked her feet up onto the couch. Believe me, you truly would. With a playful grin, I rose to my feet and stretched my limbs. All right, I must take a moment to relieve myself before this dialogue spirals into chaos. As I pivoted, my mind still dancing with the echoes of our dialogue, I extended my hand toward the door handle and gently nudged it open. Yet, it was not the bathroom. It was the room belonging to Jenna's father. And he stood there, in that very moment. My breath caught in my throat. He stood exposed, unadorned. The warmth lingered in the atmosphere, a delicate aroma of fresh skin, and cologne enveloping me like a gentle embrace. He lingered by the dresser, a towel clasped in one hand, weaving it through his damp hair as if this were merely another night in the tapestry of his life. As if I wasn't there, eyes wide, frozen in place, utterly crumbling within. Then he turned. And wore a sly grin. Well, he said, his voice a gentle murmur, effortlessly calm, almost too serene for the chaos unfolding around them. Didn't foresee an audience this evening. My stomach plummeted. I pressed my palm against my eyes. My face ignited with a sudden heat. Oh my goodness, I. Words abandoned me, as a tide of embarrassment surged up my spine. His laughter rolled forth, rich and resonant, a sound steeped in genuine delight. What seems to be the trouble? He pondered, his tone as relaxed as always. Behold, a figure unlike any you've encountered in your life. I gasped for breath, every fiber of my being igniting in a vivid rush. A surge of warmth ignited across my face, my neck enveloping me entirely. What on earth was I meant to say to that? The gentle whisper of fabric gliding against skin was nearly drowned out by the thunderous rhythm of my own heartbeat. Bathrooms are just across the hall, my dear, he added, a playful smirk dancing on his lips. Unless, of course, you intended to step into this space. I emitted a sound, a mix of a gasp and a strangled whimper, before pivoting on my heel, and dashing out, forcefully shutting the bathroom door behind me. My back collided with the door as I struggled to catch my breath, my chest heaving rapidly, my hands quivering at my sides. What just unfolded? I clutched the sink, my breath coming in fits and starts, as I sought to regain my composure. The cool porcelain met my fingertips, yet it did little to suit the warmth that continued to spread beneath my skin. By now, I ought to have chuckled it away, set it aside as just an awkward blunder. Yet, the vision of him lingered, that deliberate, knowing smirk. He stood there completely at ease, watching me as if he already held the secrets of my soul. I swallowed hard, my fingers gripping the counter with intensity. I had encountered shirtless men before, yet none had ever stirred such feelings within me. He possessed an undeniable quality, a certain ease and confidence, as if he had no need to validate himself. He hadn't sought to influence me, and yet, here I stood, still trembling from the experience. I closed my eyes and inhaled deeply, just enough. As I turned on the faucet, a cascade of cold water splashed against my face, a desperate attempt to jolt me back to reality. Yet, the relief was but a momentary whisper, vanishing in an instant as the heat returned, wrapping around once more. It was time for me to go. With a determined swipe, I dried my face and summoned the strength to push my legs forward. Through the corridor, descending the staircase, returning to Jenna. Yet, as I arrived at the bottom, a singular truth emerged. The sensation lingered, and I found myself questioning whether it would ever truly dissipate. Jenna lifted her gaze as I settled onto the couch. A sly smile blossoming on her lips. Finally, you've arrived. I let out a chuckle, attempting to mask the unease, wishing she wouldn't catch onto the lingering heat that clung to my skin. Ah, it seems I've stumbled upon the incorrect entrance. Her eyebrow arched ever so slightly as she regarded me with keen interest. Is this the incorrect entrance? I exhaled softly, the drink in my hand swirling gently, my voice steady and relaxed. Indeed, I stumbled into your father's room quite unexpectedly. Jenna let out a snort, her laughter bubbling to the surface without hesitation. Oh, quiet now, did you catch a glimpse of him? My heart raced, yet I attempted to dismiss it with a casual air. Ah, indeed. Her eyes grew wide and then, as if a dam had broken, she erupted into laughter. Oh my God, was he like? She wiggled her eyebrows in a playful manner. I almost sputtered on my drink, my cheeks flushing with warmth once more. Jenna? What is it? She inquired with a feigned innocence, yet the sly smile playing on her lips revealed a different tale. Was he a good man? I parted my lips, yet silence enveloped me. My face felt aflame, and she saw right through me in an instant. Her jaw fell open just a touch, and a gasp escaped her lips as she straightened her posture. Oh my goodness, you absolutely witnessed him in his most vulnerable state. I gulped, my words tumbling out before I had a chance to gather my thoughts. It wasn't my intention, I didn't mean for it to happen that way. She tossed her head back, laughter spilling forth, shaking her head in sheer astonishment. Ah, how fortunate you are. I blinked, my mind racing to grasp the weight of her words. Beg your pardon? Jenna smirked, reclining against the couch as if this were merely another tale unfolding in the comfort of her living room. Well, let's just say there are certainly other paths one could take. My stomach twisted uneasily as I gazed at her. Jenna, what on earth is going on? With a casual shrug, she seemed entirely unbothered by my response. Listen, I care deeply for my dad, but I see things clearly. I can see why women find him attractive. It wouldn't be the first time a friend has shown a bit of curiosity. My heart raced in my ears as her words settled in, and then she smiled once more. It was light-hearted and mischievous, yet there lingered a deeper nuance in her gaze. A moment that left me momentarily speechless. If you were curious for a sample, I would be more than happy to oblige. I stood still, caught in the moment. Are you pulling my leg? She tilted her head slightly, a mischievous glint in her eyes as her smirk deepened. Am I? I parted my lips, yet the words eluded me, dancing just out of reach. My skin still radiated an unsettling warmth. My thoughts linger, trapped in the upper realms of my mind. Jenna's eyes danced over me, capturing each nuance with an attentive sweep. She beheld it. She was aware. A gentle, knowing smile blossomed on her face as she leaned in ever so slightly. We might just uncover the truth. My stomach tightened, my heart racing fiercely. Is that you, Jenna? Just as I was about to utter another word, she seized my wrist and yanked me to my feet. Oh my goodness. Once upon a time, this was unfolding. With each step toward the stairs, my heart raced with an intensity that grew ever stronger. And the most unfortunate aspect. I let her go without a word. Jenna knocked and the door swung open instantly, as if he had been anticipating her arrival. He lingered in that moment, bare-chested, propped against the frame, his eyes locking onto mine before shifting to Jenna. He exuded a serene confidence, untouched by the chaos around him, masterfully steering the course of events. Jenna wore a sly grin. She found delight in the sight before her. My stomach did a somersault. In an instant, she pushed me ahead with a forceful nudge. As I stepped inside, I found myself teetering, just managing to regain my footing, while the door softly clicked shut behind me. Oh my goodness. Silence, heavy and unwavering. I remained still. He certainly did not. Then, a soft, low chuckle pierced through the thick air, easing the tension that had settled around them. I summoned the courage to lift my gaze, my heart pounding fiercely in my chest. He let out a breath, shaking his head as if I were a source of entertainment, as though he possessed knowledge of the unfolding tale. At last, he found his voice. You certainly took your sweet time. Before I could respond, before I could even draw a breath, he was already in motion. With each step, a new journey unfolds. Deliberate, unhurried. My heart raced. I ought to have made a backup. I did not. I was unable to. As I came to that realization, there he was, standing directly before me. His scent enveloped me, a blend of cleanliness and warmth, with a hint of something deeper lurking beneath, heady and intoxicating. His hand gently rested on my waist. His fingers grazed my jaw, gently lifting my face, slow and intentional. In that moment, he leaned in and pressed his lips against mine. It was profound, resolute, and all-encompassing assertion. I inhaled sharply, my body responding instinctively before my mind could fully grasp the unfolding moment. His hold intensified, fingers drawing me nearer, anchoring me in the present. He commanded the moment, his stride deliberate, his words consuming me as if time itself were an endless river flowing at his feet. I hardly registered the way he led me back, each step deliberate, until the backs of my knees met the edge of the bed. I collapsed onto the mattress, my heart racing in my chest. He trailed behind, but rather than pressing me down beneath him, he reclined, sinking into the pillows, his gaze fixed upon me. His smirk grew more pronounced. Then, just 2 words, show me how much you desire this. My stomach tightened, a slow coil of warmth unfurling within me. I took a deep breath, my heart racing, yet I pressed on. Initially cautious, then increasingly daring. My hand glided down his stomach, tracing the firm contours of muscle that tensed under my fingertips. His skin exuded warmth, a delicate whisper of heat emanating from the spot where my lips lingered, a current of anticipation thrumming in the air between us. The moment my skin met his body responded in kind. A rich, resonant sound echoed from his chest, deep and unmistakable. His fingers wove through my hair, a gentle guidance, not harsh but firm, steering me precisely to the destination he envisioned. His patience was both maddening and captivating in equal measure. With each deliberate exhale, each subtle movement of his form, and every soft murmur of approval, I found myself drawn deeper into the moment. In an instant he surged forward, swift, seamless, and undeniable. Before I could even grasp the reality of it, I found myself on my back, the mattress embracing the unexpected turn of events. His weight bore down on me, firm, steadfast, and unavoidable. With a sharp intake of breath, I felt a wave of warmth envelop me, my body yielding before my thoughts could fully comprehend the moment. His knee parted my thighs, slow and teasing, his hand sliding over mine, grounding me beneath him, his free hand tracing a deliberate path down my side, unhurried but full of intent. I arched beneath him, my body revealing its secrets, aching, restless, yearning for more. A gentle, muted laugh brushed against my skin, rich with depth and understanding. He allowed the moment to linger, the tension between us deepening, before finally murmuring against my jaw, "Now, I have you all to myself." Then, he drew me further into the depths. There was a swift resolve and immediate action. His movements began with a languid grace, deepening with each passing moment, drawing me ever further into his captivating grasp. His rhythm, precise and measured, was crafted to unravel me, one breath at a time. I inhaled sharply, my fingers clawing into his back, gripping his shoulders, anything to ground myself. The heat wound itself around everything, rising higher, overwhelming in its swiftness. And then, I shattered beneath him, enveloped in the heat, the weight, the sheer intensity of the moment. I scarcely had a moment to regain my composure before he transformed, gliding forward with that unwavering assurance. His hands glided lower, playfully teasing, exploring, and asserting their command. Then, his lips ignited a blaze upon my skin. A sudden breath escaped my lips before I could catch it. Oh my goodness! Heat surged within me, intense and all-consuming, as his mouth descended, his touch deliberate and exact, unraveling me layer by layer. I writhed beneath him, my hands groping in the dark for something to grasp onto. His shoulders, his hair, anything to anchor me in the moment. Yet, he moved with a calm assurance. He savored each moment. Each slow, intentional motion sparked a current within me, coiling tighter, lifting me higher, until time itself seemed to expand, enveloping me in its intensity. In his embrace, I found myself adrift, enveloped by a tide of feeling. Even as the aftershocks rolled through me, he held me there, savoring it, drawing out every last flicker of pleasure, until I was nothing but breathless warmth in his arms, until I was his. I scarcely had a moment to catch my breath before he was upon me once more, his gaze intense and penetrating, as if he could perceive every subtle quiver coursing through my being. This time, he unleashed everything within him. His movements flowed with a measured grace, each one imbued with intention, and I mirrored him, my body instinctively responding to every subtle shift, every gentle caress. The tension escalated once more, rising, piercing, constricting with each inhalation. And then, it snapped. I immersed myself in him, drawing him along on this journey with me. A raw, jagged sound erupted from his throat, his rhythm fracturing as he surrendered entirely, enveloped in the moment with me. I experienced it all, the heaviness of his presence, the warmth that enveloped us, the way he surrendered completely, falling into the depths of our connection, until there was no space left between us. In this moment, the universe faded away, leaving just him, just us. I lay there, breathless, the gravity of what had just transpired still settling around me. With a gentle nudge, Jenna guided me into that room. But did she truly give me a nudge, or was I already taking that step forward on my own? Would you seize an opportunity like this if it were presented to you, or would you turn away and carry the weight of regret for all time? Speak your truth, for I am eager to hear it. Share your musings in the comments below. If this tale captivated you, be sure to show your appreciation by liking, subscribing, and activating notifications, ensuring you never miss another enchanting narrative. Your encouragement fuels the flow of these tales. Until we meet again in the next tale.